Hello everyone and welcome to a packed month of March, maybe too packed given the number of surprises your podcast has in store for you.
African History Daily by my daddy.
In fact, when you think about it, the month of March has often been quite a marking month in history, especially with regard to women's struggles for their rights. Take for example, in March 1910, perhaps the boldest March 8 ever in Copenhagen, where the Second International Conference of Socialist Women brought together hundreds of women from 17 countries. German journalist Clara Zetkin proposed for the first time that socialist women from all countries organize a Women's Day every year, which will be used primarily to obtain the voting right for women. This proposal was widely adopted, followed by dozens of demonstrations by women, including those of the famous suffragettes in England, marked by the blood and the death of two suffragettes in front of the English Parliament and agitated the next decade. Then the most impactful demonstration on March 19, 1911, when 1 million women demonstrated throughout Europe to demand, in addition to the right to vote, the right to work, vocational training, the cessation of discrimination at the workplace. Impactful because less than a week later, on March 25, the tragic fire of the Triangle Workshop in New York claimed the lives of more than 140 female workers. This event had a strong influence on the labor laws in the USA, as the working conditions which had caused this fire had been mentioned several times already during the demonstration on March 19. Then on March 8, 1917, the day which led to the Russian Revolution, thanks to the demonstration of the female workers of St. Petersburg. And then we land on March 8, 1921, the most politically significant one probably, when Lenin decreed March 8 as Women's Day. I cannot list here all the March 8 after the Second World War, but they all contributed to establish this March demonstration in most countries. Ultimately, on March 8, 1977, when the United Nations formalized March 8 as International Women's Rights Day and led to celebrations in almost all countries worldwide. This date must be remembered as the symbol and the story of ordinary women who made history. It has its roots in the struggle that women waged for centuries in all societies, including African society, to participate and to be recognized on an equal footing as men. Already in ancient Greece, a lady called Lysistrata had launched a sexual strike against men to end the war. During the French Revolution, Parisian women marched in Versailles to demand the right to vote. And then in 1903, way before the 1910 conference in Copenhagen, Emmeline Pankhurst has launched the Political and Social Union of Women, the foundation of a movement later known as suffragette. The list of struggles of women in March in history is obviously a very European one, but it cannot hide the struggles of women in Africa and also in America, in all other continents, because even if the objectives were initially different, the struggles, including those against colonization, against racial discrimination, the struggle of African queens to defend their freedom, and the struggles of all the mothers of African independence were all about the same thing: equality and right. These women, these heroines of the past, are the ones we normally celebrate in this podcast. But in this month of March 2020, we will rather celebrate today's heroines and do not expect to hear women that appear all the time on international TV channels. No, our heroines are ordinary women who fight in their own way for economic, financial, intellectual and political freedom for Africans and African descendants. And so this month, we are celebrating 4 ordinary African heroines who fought in their own way, drawing inspiration from the past to inform the present and to try and create another future for themselves and for others. So only 4 heroines out of the 1,000 who follow in the footsteps of the past heroine every day. It is certainly not much, but it is a good start. 4 very different profiles, but so similar in their determination and strength of character. I hope this strength will show through these 4 interviews to inspire all the little African girls around the world, like Anam, Siana, Bella, Amor, Haile, Hopi, Tayo, Eden, Tabara, Sika, Merveille, and also my own daughters, Shola and Yeli. I hope they will remember above all that the rights they enjoy today have been acquired at the cost of the lives of hundreds of women, not just Africans. The second surprise of this month of March for you is a series of special episodes for the Great Lakes region, developed thanks to the original idea and ceaseless activity of the Office of the UN Special Envoy for the Great Lakes, in collaboration with many partner organizations. You will be able to access interviews of grassroots women across this region in French, in English, and in Swahili. So, as I said, an exciting month of March ahead. My African cliché of the day is a series of dedication. First to our graphic design heroine, Mrs. Olanike Tijani, founder of the Afrikif platform and creator of the graphic design agency Helpsworld, who designed this special logo marking the collaboration between the Great Lakes platform and our podcast during this month of March. Dedication also goes to all our 4 heroines in the series of interviews and all the women that you will hear in the Great Lakes special series. And finally, dedication to all the women who we all know around us who were forced by their partners to sacrifice their right. That is the right of working and most of the time the right of simply be. Those partners with whom they should share this quote from the English novelist Jane Austen, and I quote, "Half of the world does not appreciate what amuses the other half." You know that the struggle won't stop after this month of March and cannot stop until equality is achieved. Thank you very much and hope you enjoy listening to the episode.